This is the story of a child who was destined for greatness. A prodigy, they called them. The kind of child who could recite the alphabet backward before most knew their ABCs, who solved puzzles meant for adults, and whose teachers whispered, "This one is special." But what happens when the weight of perfection becomes too heavy? When the brightest star burns itself to darkness? This child had a name. Let's call them Alex. Alex was like a beacon drawing attention from teachers, parents, and strangers alike. By the age of 6, they were winning spelling bees and math competitions. By 10, they were reading college textbooks for fun. By 13, they were hailed as a future leader, a genius, a promise. But promises, as we know, are fragile things. From the outside, Alex's life seemed perfect. But behind the curtain of awards and accolades, cracks began to form. Alex was not a child. They were an achievement, a reflection of their parents' pride, their teachers' ambitions, and society's insatiable hunger for success stories. And when you're gifted, people stop asking how you feel. They only care about what you can do. For Alex, every day was a test of intelligence, a test of worth. It started innocently enough, the sleepless nights, the endless revisions. They told themselves it was normal. This is what it takes to be the best. But perfection is a dangerous standard. It doesn't allow mistakes. And Alex's first mistake would haunt them. It happened in 8th grade. A single wrong answer could cost them the top score, and Alex couldn't bear it. So they cheated. It was small, insignificant even. No one noticed. But Alex noticed. They told themselves it was a one-time thing. A fluke? But it wasn't. You see, perfectionism is a slippery slope. When success becomes a requirement instead of a goal, you'll do anything to keep it. By high school, Alex's brilliance and ambition were no longer enough. The pressure to excel, to maintain the image of a prodigy, had grown too great. That's when the lines began to blur. It started small. A copied answer here, a fabricated result there. But the more Alex succeeded, the more they feared failure. And the more they feared failure, the further they were willing to go. By the time Alex was 17, they weren't just cheating the system, they were manipulating it. Sabotage. Alex's desperation to stay on top led them to destroy a rival's work. It was a calculated move. And it worked. Alex won the competition. But at what cost? This was no longer the story of a gifted child. It was the story of a child consumed by their own brilliance. The crime that would unravel it all came just a year later. It was the National Science Fair. High stakes. Alex's chance to prove once and for all that they were the best. But their rival, one of the few who could match Alex's intellect, had created a project that threatened to outshine them. So Alex did what they'd always done. They hacked into the rival's computer, deleted months of work. It was easy, too easy. But this time, Alex wasn't careful enough. The truth came out, and the prodigy fell. When Alex's crimes were exposed, the world turned on them. The same people who had praised them, who had built them up, now called them a fraud. Their parents, devastated. Their teachers, disappointed. No one asked why Alex had done it. No one wondered how a child so brilliant, so full of promise, had reached such a breaking point. But we should ask, because Alex's story is not unique. For every gifted child we celebrate, there are countless others struggling under the weight of expectations they never asked for. Children are taught to believe that their worth lies in their achievements. Children who are praised for being perfect, but punished silently, subtly for being human. But it doesn't have to be this way. We can break the cycle. It starts by seeing gifted children not as trophies, but as individuals. By teaching them that failure is not the end, it's part of growth. By celebrating their curiosity more than their accomplishments, and most of all, by reminding them that their worth doesn't come from test scores or trophies. It comes from who they are. Alex's story didn't have to end in tragedy, and for the gifted children out there now, it still doesn't. So the next time you see a gifted child, ask yourself, are we nurturing their potential? Or are we suffocating them with our dreams? Because if we're not careful, Alex's story will repeat itself over and over again. And the cost of perfection will be paid in broken promises and broken lives.